There have been numerous major movements during NASCAR Silly season, but the one that caught Dale Earnhardt Jr. off guard was Chris Gabehart's departure as crew chief of the No. 11 Joe Gibbs Racing team and Denny Hamlin, and he had some harsh words for the team. Gabehart, who has been Hamlin's crew chief for the previous 6 seasons, was named competition director by JGR. Chris Gale, who formerly sat in the pit box for teammate Ty Gibbs, will be Hamlin's crew chief next season. Earnhardt described it as a big surprise, but one that might help the entire JGR going ahead. "I guess the Gabehart-Denny Hamlin change was a big surprise," Earnhardt stated on Monday's Dale Jr. Download podcast. "They seemed really bonded and in sync. Denny is in a really good position to compete for championships. This year wasn't one of those years where we felt like he was a contender for the title, but it's been pretty much every year he's been one of the guys we thought could have a shot at it. And so, for them to mash the pause button on that and make a complete change and shift in a whole different direction was really a surprise. But I guess the idea is the future for Joe Gibbs Racing is the most important thing, and this strengthens that. Gabehart is the kind of guy that, in my eyes, he's so incredibly talented and good at what he does, and it's because he puts everything he has into it. The details, the prep, the work, and guys that are that devoted to it, when they say it's time for me to do something different, it's really time. I guess his work ethic and attention to detail will serve Joe Gibbs Racing in this new role and capacity, and I think he'll absolutely be a massive asset to them going forward. While it's maybe not the best thing for Denny or the 11 team, they'll be in great hands, and Denny will probably be very competitive, and it's not the end of the road for him. It was surprising because I thought Denny might have 1 or 2 more years and then he might say, "I'm done." Hamlin and Gabehart had a very successful combination, winning 22 races together over 6 seasons. That equaled Kyle Larson, Cliff Daniels for the most victories among Cup Series driver crew chief duos during that time. Hamlin qualified for the championship 3 times and finished 6th or higher in points in 5 of his 6 seasons with Gabehart. Hamlin himself admitted to having no warning ahead of time that a change was imminent. It does, but again, they've got to do what's best for the company. Denny Hamlin stated Friday that they expect a better in performance from the 54. And they're looking for an overall performance for all the teams. Because we certainly haven't won the amount of races as an organization as we should. It will be interesting to see how this evolves next year. But that wasn't all news Earnhardt Jr. had for us. Dale Earnhardt Jr. also revealed that he is ready to return to the NASCAR broadcast booth alongside Adam Alexander and Steve Letarte, Earnhardt said on Dale Jr. Download about Alexander and Letarte calling Cup Series races alongside him next year. "Everybody knows that I love working with Steve. The one thing I'll say about Adam is I've never really worked with him, but I've known him for a very long time," Earnhardt said. "When I started broadcasting, most everybody in the NBC bubble was very supportive. Of course, always giving me great feedback, and that was awesome. Outside of the NBC family, Adam was really one of the few people that constantly was texting me and just saying nice things and just being supportive for no reason other than just because he's a good guy. Before that, I really had no real relationship with the dude, so it just speaks to his character. When we made this announcement, I got a lot of text messages from people in the industry saying how much I'm going to love working with Adam. I'm so thankful to hear all of this. The 3 will call races for TNT and Prime Video. Alexander will handle the play-by-play duties, with Letarte and Earnhardt serving as analysts. Their debut race, the Coca-Cola 600, will air on Prime Video on May 25th. TNT will begin coverage on June 28th in Atlanta, with NASCAR's inaugural in-season tournament. "We are thrilled to welcome Dale, Steve, and Adam as official members of the Prime Video family," Jared Stacy, Director of Global Live Sports Production, Prime Video, said in a press release. "We are excited for this group to bring their collective experience, passion, and credibility to NASCAR fans as we begin our coverage next season. We are excited to welcome Adam and Steve to the TNT Sports family, joining Dale in the booth to give racing fans a thoughtful, entertaining, and engaging experience," Craig Berry, Executive Vice President and Chief Content Officer, TNT Sports, said in a press release. "Their passion and knowledge for the sport, delivered in a more conversational format, will create a compelling narrative for each race and enhance the coverage for viewers as NASCAR returns to our platforms next year." And if that wasn't enough Dale Jr. news, he also shared his opinion on the condition of short-track racing. Many fans of short-track racing, whether on pavement or dirt, sometimes criticize NASCAR and its competitors, claiming that the kind of motorsports they prefer is real racing, and that NASCAR and the other main sanctioning bodies are staged and/or too theatrical. That may or may not be true, but the impact of having a major NASCAR star visit a grassroots track is tangible and important. Dirt racing fans witness this regularly when Kyle Larson competes on clay. Kyle Busch has recently gotten more active in short track racing due to his son's participation in the sport. One peek at the grandstands during Saturday night's South Carolina 400 at the Florence Motor Speedway in Timmonsville, South Carolina, demonstrated what may happen when a NASCAR driver announces their intention to run in an event. This is not to suggest that there would not have been a sizable audience for one of the most renowned late-model stock car races on the program, but having Dale Earnhardt Jr. in attendance undoubtedly added to the excitement. And it didn't hurt that his crew used a Budweiser-themed design with the number 8 printed on the side of the Chevrolet machine to assist patrons relive old memories. Without a doubt, Jr. sold a lot of products, and his followers were delighted to another night of watching their idol race around a track. However, the 2021 NASCAR Hall of Fame entrant understands that the most valuable aspect of his participation was the exposure he provided to other drivers, the race circuit, and this style of racing. "Amazing crowd here tonight, so many fans with our old Bud gear out," Earnhardt said during the streaming broadcast. "I'm so thankful for everybody supporting not only what I'm doing, but what this track is doing, and short track racing and grassroots racing and late model stock racing. It's awesome for all of these drivers to have all these people out here, some of them being here for the first time, experiencing Florence for the first time, experiencing late model stocks for the first time, and seeing some of these drivers race for the first time." The 15-time most popular driver in the NASCAR Cup Series hopes that fans who went on Saturday would enjoy themselves so much that they will return. "So hopefully they go home excited and happy, and they come back and support the track more," he said. "But it's just awesome, man, the whole response to the car. I didn't anticipate or know what to expect, and people seem really happy about it, and I'm thankful for Budweiser to allow us to do it, and thankful for all the fans to support it, and hopefully we can give them a good run." Perhaps because of Junior's presence, the South Carolina 400 drew an attendance comparable to another major late model event conducted yearly at a NASCAR site. I mean, honestly, outside of the 300 at Martinsville, Valley Star Credit Union 300, this is the largest car count for any late model race this year, probably absolutely the toughest field next to the Martinsville race, claimed the two-time winner of the Daytona 500. "I never, when I signed up for this one, had no clue it was going to be 50 car count cars showing up. I didn't know if they'd have enough to send anybody home, but it turned into a really huge event, and it's full of really good race cars and good drivers." Earnhardt, together with Kevin Harvick and Jeff Burton, co-owns the Cars Tour, which features pavement late model racing. He feels that this type of racing is headed in the correct direction. "I think it says a lot about it moving in a good direction," he stated. "We love being part of the Cars Tour, what the Cars Tour has become. But I think the Cars Tour stands on the shoulders of the weekly racing series right in those tracks. And we have to really have those be healthy, be successful, for the Cars Tour to survive. So, that's important. I pay attention to the weekly racing and how tracks are going, their car counts, and fans' reaction, and fans' attendance, and all that stuff. I kind of pay attention to some of the tracks to get an idea of how the health is like for short track racing, and grassroots and car counts are a good indicator." What your take on that? Are you also enjoying more of short track racing lately? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below.